In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 MLB games happening on May 18, 2022. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets. As we provide these videos on a daily basis, I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 2 betting picks a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Houston Astros versus Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox host the Astros in the final game of their 3-game series at Fenway on Wednesday evening. Boston took the first game in an exciting back-and-forth contest, and the Astros were victorious in Game 2 as they romped to a blowout victory. The two teams met in last season's LCS but are at opposite ends of the spectrum now, with Houston boasting an impressive 24-13 record as one of the best teams in baseball, while the Red Sox are just 14-22 and are battling with the Orioles to stay out of the American League East basement. The Astros have been one of the best teams in Major League Baseball since the final week of April. Houston's loss to Boston on Monday was their second loss in 16 games and their fourth loss in 22 games. They bounced back Tuesday by scoring 13 runs in the first 3 innings. Houston has been clicking on both sides of the ball as they have scored 5+ runs in 12 of those 22 games and held opponents to 3 or less runs in 18 of those games. They have thrown 6 shutouts in May, including 4 since May 8th. The Astros are absolutely rolling and feeling some good mojo. It will be tough for any team to beat them in any game, let alone a team that hasn't found their identity yet. The Red Sox put it together on Monday for a good 6-3 win over the Astros, but Houston responded by running up the score on Boston on Tuesday. Boston has been weak all around so far this season, despite having a very similar roster as the one that brought them within 2 games of the World Series last season. While they have shown flashes of a team that can go on a run, they haven't shown any consistency yet this season to believe they will be good teams. Until they do, a great team like Houston that is playing well lately is a much more reliable play, as they have the advantage on the mound and they are the better defensive team. The Astros will finish this series exactly how they started it. The Houston Astros money line is our full game side pick. The public money will probably be attracted to the over after Tuesday's offensive explosion. But we have 2 quality arms on the mound on Wednesday and one of the weakest defenses in baseball on one side of the matchup. Nick Pivetta seems to have found his form after floundering in the early going, and his track record against Houston proves that he is not afraid of their potent bats. Luis Garcia has struck out 27.8% of the batters he has faced while keeping traffic to a minimum with his 0.95 WHIP. While his fastball isn't the fastest, as he sits in just the 26th percentile for velocity, he has generated some terrific results and has consistently limited damage against him, as he allowed 2 or fewer runs in 5 of his 7 outings in 2022. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Washington Nationals versus Miami Marlins. The Washington Nationals battled the Miami Marlins in the 3-game series finale on Wednesday evening from Marlins Park. The Nationals have Josiah Gray seeking his 4th win. The Marlins give the nod to Pablo Lopez, who is targeting his 5th victory. The Marlins lead the season series by a 5-0 count. The Nationals have lost 7 of their last 9 games and 6 of their last 7 road games. They have struggled offensively in recent games, scoring more than 2 runs once in their last 5 games. Even though they hit the ball well against right-handers, they will struggle offensively in this game because Lopez has been dominant on the mound this season, giving up 6 runs in 7 starts. He gave up 5 runs in 4 home starts and 2 runs in his last 3 starts against the Nationals, so don't expect him to have trouble slowing down their offense in this game. Scoring hasn't been a problem for the Marlins, who scored 20 runs in their last 3 home games. Even though Gray has pitched well for the Nationals this season, he struggled in recent starts, giving up 9 runs in his last 2 starts. He gave up 6 runs in his last 2 starts against the Marlins and will have a hard time slowing them down in this game. The Washington Nationals are a complete mess right now, and they're a tough team to get behind in their current form. Josiah Gray has been more than hittable this season, and current Marlins are hitting .302 against him in 51 at-bats. Pablo Lopez has been one of the best pitchers in baseball, allowing 27 hits and 5 earned runs in 43 innings. The Marlins are heating up offensively, so the Miami Marlins to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Nationals are averaging 4.17 runs per game and 5.88 runs per game on the road. They average 1.67 runs per game in their last 3 games against the Marlins. Even though Miami is giving up 4.25 runs per game at home, they are giving up 1.42 runs per game in games started by Lopez, and will keep the Nationals under their average in this game. The Marlins are averaging 4.15 runs per game and 4.56 runs per game at home. They averaged 4.33 runs per game in their last 3 games against the Nationals. A game under usually looks automatic when the Nationals involved, as their offense doesn't produce enough to contribute to overs. On the flip side, their pitching doesn't seem good enough to foster many undares. But the Marlins aren't exactly a prolific lineup. In 5 head-to-head matchups this season, the game totals have averaged 6.2 runs, with the Marlins doing the majority of the heavy lifting offensively. Pablo Lopez is in great form and have a very favorable matchup. He will likely keep the Nationals lineup in check. That would leave it to the Marlins to carry the weight of a high total. While they have shown well this series, they don't quite have the offensive firepower to consistently carry a game over by themselves. Even though Washington is giving up 5.38 runs per game on the road, the Marlins won't score enough runs to push the score over the total. Plus, the Marlins and Nationals played under the total in 3 of their last 4 meetings. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. San Diego Padres versus Philadelphia Phillies. The San Diego Padres take on the Philadelphia Phillies in a showdown between National League contenders. This will be the second game of a 3-game series. San Diego claimed the opener 3-0 behind a stellar combined pitching performance from Mike Clevinger and the Padre bullpen. San Diego is off to a 3-1 start to their East Coast road trip and will look to keep it rolling. They will send Blake Snell to the mound, making his season debut. He will be opposed by Zach Wheeler for Philadelphia. The San Diego Padres continue their 3-game series with the Philadelphia Phillies on Wednesday, with the Padres taking the opener by a score of 3-0. With that win, the Padres broke the alternating of wins and losses in their last 10 games, giving them a record of 6-4 in those last 10. The Phillies, on the other hand, missed out on a much-needed win, as they are 6 games back of the Mets. It dropped them to 6-4 in their last 10 games with back-to-back losses. This will be a good matchup between starting pitchers, as the Padres will send out left-hander Blake Snell while the Phillies will counter with righty Zach Wheeler. An edge goes to Wheeler. Snell will be making his 2022 debut after 3 minor league rehab appearances, as he was scratched in the opening weekend with groin soreness. Wheeler, who is 1-3 with a 4.26 ERA and a WHIP of 1.26, has pitched much better in his last 3 outings, allowing 3 earned runs in 19 innings and 1 win. Offensively, the Phillies have the advantage. The Phillies rank 2nd in team average, 7th in OBP, and 1st in OPS. The Padres actually rank 9th in OBP but dropped to 17th in OPS and 20th in team average. Look for the Phillies offense to bounce back and take advantage of a pitcher coming off an injury. I expect the Phillies to cause problems for Snell in his 2022 debut and the subpar bullpen behind him, so the Philadelphia Phillies money line is our full game side pick. While Snell versus Wheeler has the look of a marquee pitching matchup on paper, Snell is making his first start of the season and may not be around long, and Wheeler is still trying to find his 2021 form with a season ERA well above 4. Despite the low run output on Tuesday, both of these offenses have been scorching hot of late, with the Phillies averaging around 6.5 runs over their last 5 games and the Padres averaging over 6 runs in their last 5 games. The Phillies offense has been on a tear, averaging 8.2 runs over the last 4 games, and will be facing Snell, who has not yet pitched an MLB game this season. Snell also did not perform well on the road last year. The Padres bats will be up for the challenge as they lead all MLB with an average of 5.7 runs scored per game on the road. The over is 6-2 in the Phillies' last 8 games and 5-1 in the Padres' last 6. With both bullpens in the bottom 10 in ERA and 8 MPH wins blowing out to right center field in the forecast, this will be a high-scoring game. Look for the bats to heat up on Wednesday. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.